editing one YouTube video takes most people about 6 hours. B-roll, motion graphics, captions, a color grade, all by hand, every single video. So I recently built a Claude skill that cuts that down to under 15 minutes. Here's an example. This is a video I haven't touched, just the raw audio I recorded sitting on an empty timeline. And this is the final product. Same video, fully edited, B-roll, motion graphics, color, captions, all of it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use this Claude skill I built to edit your videos fast to a standard you can actually post on YouTube. To follow along, the skill is linked in the description. Download it, and you'll also find a link to every step and tool I use in this video, all in one place. Alright, let's get into it. The first thing we need to do is set everything up. So let me show you exactly what to download and install before we touch a single video. Start by downloading Claude Code to your computer. Visit claude.com/download, which will take you to the download page. Select your operating system, I'm choosing Windows, and click download. The file will download and you can follow the prompts to install it. Since I already have it installed, once the installation is complete, you'll be prompted to connect to your Claude account and the app will open on your desktop. Make sure you have a Claude web account to connect the desktop app. Next, go to Higgsfield. At the top of the page, you'll see MCP and CLI. We're looking to get the link for Higgsfield MCP. Click on MCP, copy the link, and we'll connect Claude to Higgsfield for generating images for B-rolls during editing. After copying the link, go to Claude and open your settings. In Settings, navigate to Connectors, then Customize. Click the plus button, choose Add Custom Connector, paste the MCP URL, name it Higgsfield, and add it. You'll be prompted to authenticate with your Higgsfield account. I've already connected Higgsfield MCP as shown here. With that done, the last step is to download Hyperframes. Hyperframes will help us compile visuals, create motion graphics for videos, and provide an interface for viewing. Hyperframes is a tool by heygen. I'll also share the link in the description. At the bottom of the page, you'll find the skills section. Copy the skills from there. Return to the Claude interface. It's important to pick a folder where your work will be stored. I'm using a folder named Tutorial for my work. Paste the skill into Claude and ask to install it. Since I already have it installed, I won't repeat the process. Ask Claude to install this skill. Click Send, and Claude will install it. If it's already installed, you'll receive a notification indicating so. Once installed, you'll see Hyperframes listed among your skills, along with the details of what's been added. With setup complete, you can start using the skill. After installing Hyperframes, drag the provided skill into the chat. You can instruct Claude to use the attached skill to edit your video. I'm editing the first minute and 30 seconds of this example and will provide the video link. You can edit videos up to 20-something minutes long, but for longer content, work in batches of 5 or 10 minutes. This approach is just for tutorial purposes. Click Submit, and Claude will process the skill by providing a checklist of tasks before proceeding. We'll wait for the initial breakdown. First, Claude checks if Prelight is installed to transcribe your video. Prelight comes with Hyperframes. It will also search for a brand guide and follow each necessary step. If there are issues, it will prompt you for input. You can see that Prelight is installed and it identifies the A roll for the first minute and 30 seconds. If no brand guide is found, it asks for confirmation. Claude searches your folder for a brand guide. Once found, it will use that guide based on your brand. If you don't have a brand guide, Claude will ask for your brand's colors and fonts or default to standard settings. This ensures your videos follow your branding. After processing the brand guide, Claude transcribes the video and generates timestamps. These help ensure visuals are placed and edited accurately. Claude reviews the video, identifies the avatar, Zinny Studios in this case, confirms each step is complete, and moves to the next stage. Next, Claude asks which type of visuals you want for your video. You can choose motion graphics plus images, add reference videos, or just images if preferred. Your visual choice depends on your video style. I'll show both image-led and motion graphics, but for now, I'll select motion graphics. I choose motion graphics and Claude asks how my avatar should appear, full out or mostly full. You can specify if you want your avatar to be side-leaning full or out. I'll choose full and sometimes out or to the side. Next, Claude asks about captions. Should they appear over the avatar one-off on every line or not at all? For now, I'll choose payoff captions and the process continues. You'll see that this particular setting is accepted. My selected avatar and caption settings are recorded. Claude is now generating a storyboard to visualize the sequence. The storyboard preview helps you see the visuals or motion graphics before finalizing. You can request changes here, avoiding unnecessary edits later. Wait for the storyboard, approve, and continue. The storyboard is built, showing the planned visuals and avatar behavior for each timestamp, e.g., the avatar appears full, then goes out. The treatment includes the number and pair-off caption settings with breakdowns of planned actions. If you want to edit, for example, to adjust where captions appear, you can specify changes. For example, for step 3, I might say to use only one caption and update step 8 accordingly. I don't want captions, just motion graphics, so it's going to update the numbers I've edited. This is just a sample and we'll wait for it to finish. The storyboard has been updated. Now it's building a mockup. You'll see what the visuals will look like before we create all 12 motion graphics. This mockup gives us a preview. We review the look and decide if we are satisfied before moving forward. Let's wait for it to finish. The images or preview have been generated. I want us to view the preview here to check it out once it's ready. Let's quickly preview it and see the results. If you're about to start a faceless YouTube channel in 2026, pay attention. The climate just shifted. And if you're picking your niche based on one thing, even if that one thing is something you're genuinely interested in, you're already 6 months behind. Not because interest is wrong, because interest alone isn't the playbook. The creators hitting 100,000 subscribers right now aren't picking on instinct. They're running a multi-filter test before they post a single video, and most creators don't even know the other filters exist. Miss any one of them, and your channel either burns you out, has nobody to watch it, or has nothing to sell. Let's proceed with a complete render before moving it to CapCut for the next steps. The render's done and saved as an MP4 in a specific location. Now it's asking if it should continue. The next step is sound design, adding a whoosh on entrance, a pop when elements appear, or a boom for standout visuals. You can provide the sound design files and Hyperframe will integrate them, or you can add them in CapCut along with program music. Let me show you how to do this in CapCut. After opening CapCut, drag your video into the timeline. Here's your video in the timeline. Remember, the motion graphic snapshots are saved in your folder. Go to Audio, then Sound Effects, and pick your preferred sounds. I'll pick a whoosh sound, preview some options, then drag them into spots where the animations appear. Once those are placed, add background music. Choose any track, drag it in, and lower its volume to -25 or -30 dB so it doesn't overpower the voiceover. When everything's in place and you're satisfied, play the video, then click Export. Pick where to save it and set the quality. I'll select 4 and click Export. The file saves to your folder, ready for YouTube upload. Now, let me show you an alternative using just visuals instead of motion graphics. This time, I asked to recreate the video using a 2D animation sketch style. It'll use the connected Higgsfield MCPP and the GPT image model to generate images. Let's watch it build the storyboard before making the video. It's asking if we want avatars or just visuals. You can choose either option. I'll have the avatar appear only occasionally. Click Next. It's asking how the sketch images should animate. Do we want a hand-drawn reveal? Or do you want image to video using C-Dance? Choose your preference. For this example, let's pick hand-drawn on reveal. Now, select the model GPT Image 2.4 or Nano Banana Pro. We'll go with GPT Image 2 in 4K. I'll specify GPT Image 2, 4K 16:9, so it starts planning the visuals. A storyboard is ready. Let's approve it to see the final results. It generates sketches first and lets us review before creating all scenes. Let's check the sketch. Here's a test image of the sketch. The style and text look great. Let's check the next one. This also looks solid, so I'll approve it. I'll ask it to generate the rest in this style at 2K medium quality. Once finished, we'll review the complete result. It's done. Let's preview the final video together. If you're about to start a faceless YouTube channel in 2026, pay attention. The climate just shifted. And if you're picking your niche based on one thing, even if that one thing is something you're genuinely interested in, you're already 6 months behind. Not because interest is wrong, because interest alone isn't the playbook. The creators hitting 100,000 subscribers right now aren't picking on instinct. They're running a multi-filter test before they post a single video, and most creators don't even know the other filters exist. Miss any one of them, and your channel either burns you out, has nobody to watch it, or has nothing to sell. That's the difference between channels that grow and channels that don't. And the difference is bigger now than ever because YouTube's monetization rules just changed. AdSense alone won't carry a channel in 2026. And the storytelling heavy faceless niches that thrived 2 years ago are getting flagged and demonetized as inauthentic content right now. Building a channel in that space today isn't just slow growth, it's structural risk on top of a moving algorithm. The framework I'm about to walk you through is calibrated for the niches YouTube is actively rewarding, not the ones it's flagging. If I were starting a brand new channel today, knowing what I know after building 2 successful faceless channels, I'm pleased with the use of brand colors and the overall look. Now, I'll request the final render. Once rendered, you can take it into CapCut to enhance with more music or effects. Animating the images is also an option. You can use Kling 3.0 or C-Dance 2.0 for animation. This demonstrates the workflow's flexibility. So that's the whole thing. A video that used to take 6 hours edited in under 15 minutes to a standard you can actually post. But here's what I want you to see. Editing was never the only bottleneck. It's one stage. Before the edit, there's the research, the script, the voiceover. After it, the upload. That's the real grind on a faceless channel. In my last video, I showed you how to automate almost that entire pipeline with Claude code, from idea to finished script to voiceover, mostly hands-off. This editing skill is the piece that finishes it. Put the two together and you've got a faceless channel that mostly runs itself. So if editing was the wall you kept hitting, that wall is gone now. Go watch that automation video next, plug this skill in at the end, and you'll have the full system running end to end. That video's linked right here, and I'll see you there.